Hello guys, we should be live. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in today's video we're going to do a weekly readings, plural, for all star signs. But as tradition, we're going to start with the collective one, and as shown in the thumbnail, these are the cards for the collective reading. Just give me 1 second here. So these are the cards for the collective reading. Now the first one, that will be the Sun, followed by the second card, which stands for Temperance, and then the third card for the week, that will be the Queen of Wands. These three, that is how the elemental dignity spread stands. Like this. You're welcome, Athena. I'm glad to have you around. Right, so there is a very big chance that throughout the week, person's actions, someone's actions, to make us, well, let's put it that way, okay, to make us pleased and also happy. Now these actions will be pretty deliberate, and there will be a reason behind it. That is what I am trying to say. So which means that one will really want to get under our skins for one or another reason. Now the reason, it's not divulged by the cards, and by the way, that is the elemental dignity showing it, okay? So the reason is not divulged, therefore it could be everything from just the sheer wish to make our life better to exploitation, meaning that, you know, they are getting under our skin so they can exploit us in one or another way. So what kind of a version of a reason there will be, that depends on the personal situation. And it will be very important here to understand what exactly is that person doing in order to make us feel well. So the purest intentions from that elemental dignity, it is when that person sees our weaknesses, so the weak sides of ours, and covers up for us. That will be when they show a pure intentions to make our life better and to simply make us happy. On the other side of the spectrum, it is when that person sees our strong sides and kind of like giggles our ego and as well our self-esteem, meaning that they will want to direct it in a certain way, in a certain direction that will serve them best. But in either case, we will have a really good feeling throughout feelings, plural, throughout the week when it comes to interacting with people. Another property, so to speak, of this interaction or interactions, because that could be more than just one person, it is that we are to be seen equal to them. Now that is going to be unrevocable for one or another word or for one or another state, so, or undeniable, so to speak. And the interaction in this sense could present itself very challenging, because neither we or the other individual is going to be able to overpower the other. And from the other elemental dignity here that we do have, which is the Sun with the Temperance, okay? That is kind of like a testament, so to speak, for the normality of the week. This week is going to be very normal in sense of development. In other words, is going to be purely deprived of crises, and even if should a crisis ensues, its resolution is going to be served directly in front of us. Now it comes to us to pretty much exploit it and as well execute it. And with the temperance next to the sun, this is a recipe for making the things right when it comes to relationships. So if you do have disagreements, for example, with your family, with your partner, with your boss, so to speak, this is going to be a week where the hatchets of war are going to be set down. They're going to be simply buried. But the unique condition is that no one is going to overpower the other ones once again. Therefore, you can carry on with your opinion and they can carry on with theirs without actually having to fight over those opinions anymore. And that will make everyone's happy. There is going to be quite of a solidarity and compassion that streams in between the parties. So with that said, this is the general reading for the week. Oh, one more thing. It's a very good week making money, by the way. The sun kind of, especially in that field, stands for monetary gains and success. So if you do have your ways, it will benefit you a lot if you kind of like push into that direction. All right, so a few notes about the show before we move forward. This live stream is going to contain now 13 readings, one already done, which was the collective, and 12 more readings, one for each star sign. The technique or the method I'm using for reading, it's elemental dignity technique. I'm gonna start from Aries and I'm gonna end up with Pisces, and you can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph which is displayed here. Let me show you. So now we are gonna jump into Aries. If you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you will see full list of my services and also their pricing. And finally, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through Super Chat or a PayPal donation, you are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Super Chat is the $ on your chat field, and the PayPal link, it is in the description of the video. And should your Super Chat or PayPal support be $20 or above, your reading is going to be the Elemental Dignity reading, the very same one I'm doing for the star signs. All right, so for Aries, the first card we do have, that will be Justice, followed by the Ace of Wands. And the final card for Aries, that will be the Hangman, right? So this is the Elemental Dignity, how it stands. Those three cards. Hold on a second, guys. Yasmin, thank you so much for the $20 PayPal support. Thank you, Yasmin. The end of the stream, as usual, you're gonna have your reading. Hold on a second. So at the end of the stream, you're going to have your reading back to Aries. It does look like that this is going to be quite a busy week for you, Aries. There are going to be quite a lot of personal responsibilities that you will have to take care of, and especially if up until this point you are setting some of them aside. That week is going to prove itself being such that you cannot any longer postpone one thing or another. And for that reason, you may find yourself quite overwhelming, is that a lot is hanging on your shoulders, so to speak. But if you do not panic in any way, and you actually see things in an objective fashion, pretty much you can schedule your routine in such a way that will undertake every single responsibility you will have to undertake without going into extreme lengths or measures, and exerting the right amount of performance and as well time required. Or in other words, yes, very, very busy week, but at the end of the day is going to be growthful and successful week. Now the week, on another hand, is going to contain also a few quite gainful enterprises which are going to present themselves to you. Those gainful enterprises could be in any field of your life, literally, you know, business, love, social, and so on and so forth. And here is where you will have to make a few choices that needs to address as well the responsibilities you are currently carrying on with. And at the end of the day, the choice, would you take that gainful enterprise is in one way or another, should reflect the accountability of yourself. So you got to be accountable. If you do take that, that enterprise, can you manage fitting it into your already going responsibilities without taking off from any of those responsibilities? Some enterprises will be possible to be fit, others they won't be possible to be fit. But also the week presents you with a bit of a unique opportunity to get ahead, and we can see that with the Justice and the Hangman. Okay, so these two cards, that is when you kind of like go above and beyond, even without knowing it here. That's the good thing. So even without knowing it, and kind of like setting yourself up for a much easier, can I put it into words, progress after the dust settles, whatever dust is blowing in your face. Okay, so for that said, it seems that the week is going to be quite active, very dynamic, and also very, very productive, should you not be lazy. All right, so that was Aries. Now moving on, next we do have Taurus. All right, first one for Taurus, we do have the Magician, followed by the King of Pentacles. Hello, Shakti. And after that, it is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, that's not a good week, guys. Unfortunately, it's not a good week. It is because this is the elemental dignity. Now, how do I say it? Well, first of all, you are gonna end up with a bunch of people, or at the very least a one individual. We can see that here in between these two cards, or the Magician and King of Pentacles, which is a person who cannot set a true value of your traits, meaning that that is someone who is either overrating you or it is underrating you. Thank you, Shakti. So that said, it will be very hard throughout the week by presenting yourself for who you truly are, guys. In other words, being honest, okay, to see a positive response or a normal response from people. The response could be hyper positive, meaning that they are just not sincere, or straight away not positive at all, meaning that they just cannot see your true light, so to speak. and that will impair a certain communicational venues that you may want to display throughout the week, meaning that, for example, you want to present certain idea at work and it is just people cannot see its value, or even worse, they may present that they do not see its value and they steal it for themselves. Okay, so you got to be very careful whenever you do expect someone to invest in your life, whether invest emotions, like you expect someone to like you, for example, or investing efforts and money as well. Okay, because it will be the very least, there will be some kind of a surreptitious intentions in it. And the other thing with that Ace of Pentacles next to the Magician, it kind of speaks that one of the two things that in this week you may find yourself throwing your efforts and, God forbid, you know, your resources, money, time, etc. At the wrong place, simply. Okay, because wherever you're throwing them, it doesn't look like that they will, that this throw, it's gonna help you further your goal, whatever the goal is, which is going to contribute for a lack of content, lack of even happiness. It may even put a strain on the harmonious relationships you do have, and in business obviously is going to contribute for a less monetary, not monetary gains, but monetary successful maneuvers. That said, in this week, the less you can do, the better. Just for what those cards are advising you, Taurus, do the bare minimum, guys, that it is expected from you, because anything above that, it seems that I simply won't be appreciated. I'm sorry, but that's what those cards are saying. So, all right, moving next, we do have Gemini. Hello, Secrets of the Red Moon Tarot. Welcome to the stream. All right, for Gemini, the Hierophant, it is the first one, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. And the last one for you, that will be the High Priestess. These three. These two here, that's a recipe for a huge love coming your way, guys. So that is, wow, I mean, that is one of the most strongest connections you can have with someone. Of course, that's a general reading. It's not gonna happen to all of you, obviously, but to whom does happens, you should know that that's the guy or that's the woman. So what can you expect from that interaction? A lot of trust built, right? And also huge reliability, to a point where you are gonna find yourself convinced, not just only through your mind or speech that you do hear from the other person, but also with your own eyes, that you are never going to be left alone should you stick with that relationship interaction. Okay, so a huge week of love for you. That even could apply in ongoing relationship, and in then those cards does divulge the deepening of emotions and the connection, which reaches literally the bottom of thy soul and connects the soul together. So you want a soulmate, that's pretty much as close as it gets. Okay, it's pretty much as close as it gets. And with the Wheel of Fortune there, it's just to confirm it that you may have other options available, but they're just gonna lose any meaning, because that's literally the connection. In business, those cards reflect to consolidating and establishing, right? So that is the week where you are to secure and establish your positions, or find a really secured and established job as well. So it's a huge week for you guys. Whatever you are to find under that energy of the Hierophant and the High Priestess, it's simply yours and no one can take it away from you, unless you decide to leave it, to relinquish from it. All right, so that was Gemini. Moving next, we do have Cancer. First one for Cancer, we do have the Knight of Wands, followed by the Chariot, and the final one, that will be the Eight of Cups. So the main focus of your week is that individual here, Knight of Wands, okay? And simply that is a person who does not understand the gravity of the situation you both are finding yourself into. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say that's a person that you recently broke up with because of the constant screw-ups that they had made. And they just don't understand that. They do not understand the severity of what they did or how they behaved. And there is literally nothing you can do to convince them other way around, or it's your colleague who constantly screws up any tasks given to them, okay? And it's simply never their fault. They just don't understand why everybody is treating them like shit. Well, because they don't do a good job, does they? But they don't fathom that. So that's a person who does not fathom actually how much of an effort had to be and has to be exerted should the enterprise to continue forward. Alternatively, that may be a person who kind of like sees you, or a can I put it into words, the organization, because they could stand for the Knight of Wands here as a general reading, could stand as an organization as well, is seeing you as a joke. Basically, they don't see you as a big deal, all right? And in either of the cases, that one is not gonna let go, at least for the duration of this week. So if they do see you, for example, as not a big deal, they are gonna mess around with you, they're gonna fuck around with you, and so on and so forth. While if they are kind of like, they do not understand the severity of the situation, for what it seems, they will simply going to whine and make excuses and kind of like constantly asks why. They are gonna play the victim as well, and so on and so forth. So unfortunately, Cancer, you will have to put up with such a person. And the best way how you can divert their attention from the important stuff, just give them something else to do that they do find interesting. The best way to handle the situation is ask them, you know, okay, so tell me, what do you want to do, right? And whatever they tell you want to do, just give it to them, okay? That way they're gonna keep their hands off the important stuff that actually does matter, and you do need a professional attendance, whether that's about your business, social life, or a love life. Right, so that was for Cancer. A couple of minutes, guys, before I move to the next 4 star signs. Just to say again that if you enjoy the content in the channel, don't shy of liking the content and as well subscribing for the channel. And if you do decide to support it through Super Chat or a PayPal, you can use the Super Chat button, which is the $ next to your chat field or chat box or whatever it's called. And also the PayPal link is in the description of the live stream. And should your super chat or PayPal be $20 or above, you're not just only going to get a reading at the end of the stream, but the reading is going to be that very same Elements of Dignity reading that I'm doing for the star signs. Everyone who contributes is going to get a reading, just those with $20 or above. Theirs is going to be the Elements of Dignity one. Shakti, that's a funny thing, by the way, because I am usually getting myself to sleep with YouTube videos, although I do prefer to watch a true crime. A true crime. Even my TV provider finally included a true crime TV. It's pretty worldwide. It's called a crime and investigation channel, and I'm so far loving it. I always have it on my background. So that's something good happened in the last couple of weeks, I guess. All right, next, Leo. Never tried that. I mean, I tried it once, but it didn't work out really. Meditation videos, they don't have effect on me. I don't know why. It just kind of bothers me more listening to these sounds than kind of like makes me calm. It occupies my mind. You know, it occupies my mind. So I don't know. Hello, Zebra Libra. Welcome to the stream. All right, Leo, first one, that will be the Three of Wands, followed by the Seven of Cups, and the third one, that will be the Six of Wands. So Leo, that is pretty easy reading. Now that's going to be the week under which, or within which, you will fully, guys, come to knowledge what exactly you are getting. Okay, you're fully gonna come to knowledge what exactly you are getting from that woman, or from that guy, or from that job, from that project. Okay, and that way you may obviously choose should you go forward with it or not, although these cards are advising you to do so, because what happens here is that these results are just the beginning. Okay, just the beginning in a sense of your own personal development. What you can do with those results, it is that you can step on them and go for more results, although they don't have to be in the same field, so to speak. So what you are getting, it's a milestone. I do hope that this is exactly how you're going to see it. Because what you are getting is not just only a material gains, okay? Because for some of you, it could be a recognition, it could be help, it could be some kind of connections, which are very, very, very valuable. But what you are getting is going to establish patterns. What you're getting is going to build foundation that you can step on, and after that, go for even more, right? So it's a huge week for you. Another thing is that exactly what you are expecting is going to take place here. Okay, whatever expectations you do have for the week itself, or within the week, as of now, as I am doing the readings, they are going to prove themselves to be true, and therefore you can find yourself being forewarned, therefore being forearmed. So that's pretty much how the week stands. Now, once you do understand, you know exactly what you're getting, you can speed up the process that is within the cards here. You can stride definitely few steps for the straight of one. You can speed up the pace. That's what I'm trying to say, and also determine yourself to, once you do reach those results, should you decide to go for them, to go for even more. Yeah, for Leo. Well, those results could be literally anything, guys. It could be also a relationship. Who knows? If a relationship is a result of certain efforts of yours, then that's what you're getting. What kind of, though, you understand exactly what kind of relationship you're getting, and you get to decide, do you want it or not. All right, that was Leo. Now moving on, next we do have Virgo. Nine of Wands is the first one. Afterwards, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. Well, that's great. That's great. Secrets of the Red Moon. All right. And the third one, we do have the Two of Pentacles. So what we do have here, it's for Virgo, it's a great conditions that this week is going to present to them, okay, with these three cards. I don't know where to begin from, because everything is intertwined, so to speak. All right, so let's start with the conditions. The conditions, whether in your job or whether in your love life or your social circle, it could be in your life in general, it's gonna set up themselves just so right, so you can exert the maneuvers and the changes you so wish to happen. Okay, for example, you want to change how people see you at work. You will have the conditions to do so. For example, you do want to change your schedule. You will have the conditions to do so. For example, you do want to change how you do, how can I put it into words, interact with someone. Again, you will have the conditions to do so, but these changes are personal changes, okay? They are not exterior changes, meaning that your life is not going to change on its own. However, you can exert those conscious changes within it, and you to be the very source of the change of thy life, which could be, by the way, once in a lifetime change. Now, those cards are a fantastic cards for starting something personal. Some kind of a fitness program, for example, some kind of a project, personal project, some kind of a movement also. So it's very important to kind of like define right now, even because we are already within the week, you know, what is going to make you feel comfortable, right? What is actually going to make you feel that your life actually does make a difference, and what that depends on you. And once you do identify that, be on the lookout for the circumstances, for the conditions, because they are going to be presented to you, and it's going to happen in a seemingly random fashion, so you don't have to think too much. The window, I don't know if it's going to be closed because we don't have that card here, but I do assume so. And you will have to make your choice with a snap of fingers. Are you going to jump into it? I do apologize for that. So are you going to jump into it, or not. And I am not muffling my sneeze because, as you many of you may know, I have a buzz in my ear, in my right ear, due to a root canal infection in my wisdom tooth. And if I muffle the sneeze, it increases the pressure of the nerve, and the buzz becomes unbearable for a long time, for day, 2, maybe a week as well. So that's why I don't muffle it. So I do, sorry, or stifle the sneeze. All right, so that was for Virgo. Now moving on next. Oh, one other thing for you guys. It's a very good week for you single Virgo to go out and find someone, but that is only if you do prefer the opposite sex. Okay, if you do prefer the same sex as you are, then it's a normal week. While if you do prefer the opposite sex, what those cards are showing, you do have double, even triple the chances to find someone. So it will benefit you a lot if you do so. Okay, moving on forward, we do have Libra. And it is the opposite sex because 9 of Wands in another deck of tarot, which is the Thought Tarot, that is actually another movement of tarot. It's the connection in between the sun and the moon, and they are basically the male and the female prime of beginning. Therefore, it's the opposite sexes. No, that's the thing. Secrets of the Red Moon. I'm taking a really good care of my teeth. Okay, that is actually the one thing that I'm taking a really good care of. But the thing is that it was a silent, so to speak, root canal infection in the wisdom tooth, meaning that the tooth within it was hollow basically, but it didn't hurt because the infection actually started to how can I put it into words, to fester over here. That was the weird thing, right? Not in the tooth itself, but over here and here. And here I had something like a ball, right? When I was making like this, and I had a bump over here. And that was for years, for freaking years. And one morning I just wake up with a disco in my head. It was just the ringing, it was kind of like ridiculous. And nobody could say why the ring is until actually a piece of that wisdom tooth kind of like fell down and it was hollow basically. So I ran to my dentist and yeah, we fixed it. Anyway, moving on next. Like I said, Libra, first one for you guys, 3 of Swords. The second card, that will be the Page of Pentacles, and the third one, it is the Death card. That is one of these spreads which kind of like the answer is not just only complicated, but it also quite difficult to translate as well. And let's not try to hide it also to figure out, because sometimes, you know, you draw the tarot cards and they don't exactly talk to you, so you gotta link them, think about them, connect the dots. This week very well for you, Libra, maybe the end of your pain and suffering, but that is only if you do allow a person which is around you to become a part of your experience. Okay, that is what we do have over here. Okay, that is a person who wants to step in and add a value in your life because you do worth it. At least in their eyes, you do worth it. Okay, so how well? In all cases, that is a presentation of a cumulative effort in between you and that person, which it does require devotion. So the very least, that's going to be a thing to put your mind off the worries you may have. But also it does provide stability and in many cases monetary success as well. Now the issue that you may have is the lack of self-confidence that you can handle it, because the truth of the matter here, it is that what is offered as a value will be very similar to a quite painful situation back in the days from your past, so to speak, and you may think that history is going to repeat itself. Now I cannot tell you if it's going to or not, but what those cards are advising you here is not to judge the future by the past. Okay, because the very least you already learned a few lessons along the way and you become a better person, more skillful person, either in love or either in business as well. And here you should not deprive yourself of a chance, at least of trying. Okay, and most likely here that is going to be something like a second chance. I don't know how to explain it exactly, not exactly a on the same thing, but like I said, on a similar thing. Let's say that you are a reporter and you got kicked from a specific media. Well, these cards then in that particular case will signify that another media is going to approach you and offer you a job. So just because they kicked you from the previous media, that doesn't mean that you're a shit reporter. Okay, it could mean that you just made someone feel very uncomfortable in that media. You went against the sponsors of the media. Okay, because that's the first rule you don't do. You do not go against the one who provides your bread, who provides the meal on your table. And it will be advisable to get the job. Just shake off the negative experience you had and just try anew. So a ray of hope, it is what we do have here, although presenting itself in a very questionable state and matter as well. All right, moving next, that will be Scorpio. First one for Scorpio, that will be the Six of Wands, followed by the Six of Cups. Then we do have the Two of Cups. A lot of attention for Scorpio, a lot of attention throughout the week. And if I didn't know myself very well, I would say that I would be baffled why we do have those cards, but I know myself very well. I do have a stellium in Scorpio. Okay, so I'm a very distinct Scorpio, rather like into the kind of Scorpio. And I hate the spotlight. Well, it's what we have here. Okay, you are gonna get flattered, you are gonna get praised, even you are going to be to a point where you are going to be set into very awkward situations throughout the week, although those situations will involve you getting things. No different than, you know, being gifted a bucket of flowers. I mean, that's gonna make me feel very awkward and kind of like out of place and uncomfortable, for a lack of better word. And that is by the way, the experiences you're going to have, but this is not going to diminish, you know, the rewards that you're going to get, and the recognition as well from your colleagues, from your social circle, from your family as well. Although in certain, listen, let me say it that way, you are also probably going to be asked how you get that far. No one needs to know, right? I remember, I don't remember, I'm sorry, who stated that. It is one of the richest people in the world. I don't know exactly, but someone from the caliber of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and so on and so forth. And he said, and I think that it's from the past, all right, from the 20th century, rather than the 21st century. But he said, I can give you an account for every penny except the first million. Okay, for the first million, you do not ask me how I make it. So that is what we have here. Okay, you get the results done, you get the job done. Nobody needs to know how, because you are to be set or put under a question of ethics, not just only ethics, but as well, how do you put it, a competition fairness, so to speak, and whatnot. And it's just going to start diminish your results. So Scorpio, this week, sincerity, or should I use candor? The word candor is not your best friend. I mean, of course, if you are specifically asked, did you do that? Then you shouldn't lie, you know. But if you aren't asked, you don't have to say, you know, you don't have to say it on your own accord. That's what those cards are showing, guys. But other than that, I mean, you are to be a star for what it seems. You're not gonna like it. Well, I hope that the rewards are gonna worth it. All right, couple of minutes of break, and then the last 4 star signs are gonna take place, and after that, the super chats. So anyone who supports the stream and the channel through super chat or PayPal, you guys are gonna have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And should your super chat or PayPal be $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format of the Elemental Dignity reading. I am so freaking tired. I can't even begin to tell you how tired I am. I never liked it to be into the spotlight as well, Jen. All the attention kind of drains me, you know. I never understood people who have like 20 calls a day, or constantly someone calls them and talks with them, asking them how they're doing, what's the weather outside, what their plans are, or simply gossiping around. That is something that I hate, truth be told. Whenever I do have a phone call and it's not up to the point, in the first 5 minutes, I'm just kind of bored, and I want to be over with. I wanted to get over with it, you know. So yeah, if that means to be introvert, I guess guilty as charged. All right, next, Sagittarius. Oh, I don't do I don't do that, Jen. I mean, I always respond, but if the text or the phone, well, with the phone call, I don't do that. But if the text is not, it doesn't cut to the chase right away, then I just stop replying because I just don't like to chit chat. All right, Sagittarius, we do have the High Priestess. Then it is the Seven of Wands. Final one is the Five of Pentacles. Those three cards. Well, yeah, if you already made your intentions clear, I understand not responding. Okay, that's completely reasonable. Okay, so for Sagittarius now within this week is going to become very clear, guys. It's going to become very clear what undermines your security. Okay, so think of the field of your life that you're not feeling certain. You may not be feeling certain about your job. You may not be feeling certain about your love life. Wherever you do not feel certain of, this week is going to reveal what exactly does do so. Okay, and what is going to be plural is going to be many things. So many problems we do have there, although each single one of them is going to happen to be trifles. So that said, it's just, it will be more time consuming rather than how do I put it into words, rather than a skillful work, so to speak, in order to overcome these issues. And most of them are to be a matter of a lifestyle, truth be told. Okay, or a matter of a style. If you are feeling, for example, uncertain about the relationship with your children, then you understand why. And if, say, it is because they don't approve the way you speak with them, then you just have to change the style of how you talk with them. That's all that it is. So throughout the week itself, you Sagittarius are gonna have the opportunity to fix the unstable foundations. Now, however, the window of it will be rather very close, in a sense of the very short window of opportunity, and for that reason you have to be ready to kind of jump into action, so to speak, whenever that window poses itself in front of you. Now, throughout the week, it's going to be very advisable for you not to take any risks, right? And not to jeopardize certain aspects that you already have for the sake of brand new prospects and brand new how can I put it into words, perspectives, so to speak. This is a week where you do consolidate, not a week where you do add. That is very, very important. And one other thing, if it happens that you start dating throughout the week, just so you know, you are going to have a very similar past. So that means you went through roughly the same things back in the past, negative things, that is, unpleasant things. So, for example, if your childhood was poor, the other person's childhood also will be poor. If you had been bullied at in high school, they are also are to be bullied in bullied in high school, and these experiences, unpleasant experiences, are actually what is gonna quench your interaction and your relationship, and it could become very, very strong bonds. Now, is that bond gonna become romantic? Well, that depends entirely of your choice. Moving on next, Capricorn. First one for Capricorn, the Magician, followed by, oh my god, the Nine of Wands. Moving on next, the Page of Wands. We're definitely talking about getting on the same page. Okay, definitely getting on the same page. So that's gonna be the week, guys, where your words and your opinion is to be heard. And not just only is to be heard, but also is to be implemented, for a lack of a better word. Okay? And additionally to it, your actions are to make a difference. Whatever you do, it's simply going to speak louder than words, and is going to convince people, because your actions are going to be supplemented, are going to be supported with a very strong determination. And so whatever you do or whatever you say, it will sound and it will look like you really mean it. And that's the thing here. You may not mean it. You may just be playing around with one person or another, or with one situation or another, but they will take it literally. So the week is great, for example, for you to express yourself, or to try to do what you want to make the way you want to make it. But it's not a good week if you want to, for example, make someone jealous and tell them that, you know, you do have other options available to jump into a relationship while you don't have to, and you're saying that just to make them feel jealous. Yes, you're going to make them feel jealous, but also highly unmotivated, because they kind of know that they're just an option available, so they're going to take it literally. And for that reason, it will be important to say only what you really mean, because with the Magician, what you say and what you do cannot be taken back, it cannot be destroyed. And under this energy, if it happens that you do find a job, and that this job, you cannot be knocked off the job. Okay, but mainly this week focuses into the interaction in between you and other people. And it's very important to know that these people, they are very fragile from within, or the people that, or in other words, I'm going to say it like that, what you do and what you say has a huge impact on their internal nature. So you may say to someone out of spite, I do apologize. So you may say to someone out of spite, or just from a heat of the moment, that you hate them. You cannot take that one back. They will kind of like, this is going to basically stun into their mind, and they will kind of like, no matter how many times after that you say that you love them, they will know that you hate them. I don't know how to explain it in other words. It will just gonna make them miserable to, I don't even want to begin to tell you. But also, this is a week where people are going to surprise you a lot with a really nice gestures, and also with the really good news. And at the end of the day, this week should be a very unique one, where you can truly make a difference in your love life and into your career. I don't know how to say it in another way. So the intentions are very important. Don't do what you do not mean just to see what happens, and don't say what you do not think just to provoke, because at the end of the day you will also gonna lose a lot, because what you say will be heard and what you do will be noticed. All right, next we do have Aquarius. Thank you, Jen. The world for Aquarius. Two of Cups. And then it is the Ten of Swords. Oh my god, that getting heated and intense. This reading affects mostly people which are in a relationship or in partnerships. Okay? And it's very simple. It pretty much points to the... It's not the breaking point. How do you call it? The point after the make or break, where you do understand that thank God I didn't break it. You know, kind of like the breakthrough point, maybe should we call it? And within this week, it's basically the moment where whatever partnership you are in or relationship you are in, it will prove itself to be an inseparable part of simply your world, as we can see it here. And breaking it, it will shatter your world as well, or it will shatter the machine that drives your world forward. And here we aren't talking about, you know, how convenient it is for you. We're talking about how practical it is for you. Okay, so whether that's a business partnership, or that is a friendship, or emotional romantic relationship here, first off, it's not a good time to break it if that's something you want to do. And second off, according to these cards, you gotta pretty much place your cards on the table. Okay, no playing games anymore. All right, no suggestions, no hints, no provocations. You lay out your cards, you say what you want to accomplish, you say how you want to have it, and you let it move from there, because most likely your demands, so to speak, are to be not just only reasonable, but are to be agreed upon, and however, with a counter demands from the other side. This is something that goes both ways. Okay, and that way it's a common ground is to be reached. I mean, an agreement, for the lack of a better word, is to be accomplished, and the love can flow pure one more time in your life. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. All right, first one for Pisces, Two of Swords, followed by the Queen of Cups. And the third one for you, Pisces, that will be the Three of Swords. It's pretty easy read. okay? And it's a read where the option available for you to establish peace, it will become, hello, Kara. It will become obvious to you, right? So up until this point, if, for example, you didn't know what to do when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your relationship and how to make it peaceful, okay? And I don't mean that it has to be some kind of a chaos or anything. It is just, you know, a crazy thing. This always happen, a lot of dynamic, and you just want to have it peaceful, right? You just want to have it as a place of solace where you can just relax after a really stressful day at work. So we're talking about peace here, okay? And the option available for that will become obvious. Now, unfortunately for you, Pisces, it will be the least likable one, right? It will be the one that you was afraid that it will happen to be like that, but alas, it happens to be like that. So it's a week of sacrifice, right? Where you have to sacrifice your convenience for the peace that there is, right? And let me see what the third card was. Yeah, and while the process of the week may not be the most emotionally overflowing one, okay, afterwards you will be able to hang your life on a quite of an equilibrium, so to speak. And what your expectations could be that nothing is going to mess around with the other thing. So your job is not going to interfere with your love life, nor your love life is going to interfere with your social life, nor your social life is going to interfere with your job life. And thus you're going to have a very peaceful existence, at least for a while. So that was for Pisces, and now the super chat for Yasmin. Yasmin, let me get the cards. Here they are. And see what kind of a week you're gonna have. First card for you, Yasmin, that will be the Queen of Cups. Then it is the Seven of Swords. And the third one, it's the Eight of Cups. So there will be a special treatment, a special behavior. That will be the emphasis of your week. There will be a person there or an organization that is going to treat you very differently from treating everyone else, and in a very positive way. For example, if that's a person who doesn't give a second chances, you may get a third one, a fourth one, a 10th one, all right? Just because they have a soft spot for you, okay? And they are even willing to get out of their way in order to just, for example, spend time with you or listen to you or support you. Now, I don't know if that's about a romantic partner or just a friend, but definitely what I can tell you is that this is a person who is developing love towards you. It could be a friendship love, parental love, right, or a intimate love. And the reason for that, it is because they understand you. They understand what you are going through, what you went through, okay? And they can put themselves into your shoes, walk at 10 miles and come back with that. And whatever chances they are giving to you, or whatever they are defending you from, because they can defend you as well from something, they're doing it because they do believe that, can I put it into words? Well, that doesn't have an explanation. They do believe that you are not like the others, all right? Like, for example, if the others are failing with them because they just don't want to put the efforts, you just lack the efforts, or rather like lack the expertise, but you can learn. And that's why it is worth investing in you. It's worth giving you a shoulder to lean on whenever you do need. It is worth taking you under their wing. It's worth keeping you around. So, the very least, Yasmin, throughout the week, you are going to end up with an amazing friend. Okay? An amazing friend. The most of it is that you are going to end up with someone who is very much in love with you. Okay? One of the two. I do believe it is the friend one. And mind you, that could be a part of your family as well. It could be, you may become a very good friend with your cousin, your brother, or someone of your parents if they are around us. So with that said, guys, this was the weekly reading. Hopefully you do enjoy it and you do liked it, and we are gonna see each other around. Until then, bye.